I will be your tour guide for today. So if you didn't hear it already, welcome to Curaçao. We'll be going on tour today. You guys will visit the 8 caves, and of course the tour will also be, we're going to the beach and we're going back to the pier, right? So I only have one rule on the bus, which is whenever the bus is in motion, please remain seated. It is for your own safety. Guys ready to have some fun?
Yeah!
Alright, good. So today our driver is Mr. Rio. That's our driver. And we'll start the tour. So you guys are currently in the capital of Curaçao, which is called Willemstad. Now Willemstad is divided in two parts. You have one part that is called Punda, and another part which is called Outra Banda. Now you are currently in Outra Banda, and Outra Banda means the other side. So you are in the other side at the moment. Okay? So the story of Curaçao begins in 1499 when the Spanish were looking for richness and gold in the Caribbean, and they stumbled upon the island of Curaçao. Now as they were arriving to the island, they saw something that looked like a point, and they called that La Punta, which is in Spanish. La Punta with time became Punda, which is that part of the capital. So when the Spanish arrived here, they encountered the indigenous people of Curaçao, which were very tall people. So the Spanish called this island the island of the giants. The Spanish were short, so that's why. Also, they listed Curaçao among the worthless islands because they didn't find any gold or richness here. Now the indigenous people of Curaçao, the Indios Curaçaos, they were from the Arawakan family. Those Indios, those indigenous people came from the coast of Venezuela and Colombia, and they used to come to Curaçao in small boats. Now the name of the island also comes from a bird that the indigenous people used to see in the Amazonian forest. It's a black bird. It's called corso. That's where the name of the island comes from. Now there is another story also that when the indigenous people used to come in the boats, in some part of Curaçao, in the rocks, you can see heart-shaped figures. And people like to say that the name of the island comes from the heart shape because Curaçao in Papiamento sounds like Corazon, which means heart. Okay? So some people like to romanticize the idea that the name of the island came from the heart-shaped figures you see in the rocks, but it comes actually from the bird that the indigenous people used to see. We don't have that bird anymore in Curaçao. It only lives in the Amazonian forest, but the name of Curaçao comes from that. Now I will show you guys in a bit a part of the island that so we will show you guys two parts that the indigenous people used to live. They always lived next to water. They were hunters and gatherers, so they used to fish a lot. So they always lived next to bodies of water. Of course, they needed water to drink, so they always lived where they can get fresh water on the island. Now, as I said, we are at the other side. Now, the Spanish came here, but in 1634, the Dutch arrived to this island. They arrived with 200 soldiers and took over the island of Curaçao from the Spanish. Now the Dutch saw that it was too easily done, so what the Dutch started to do was they built forts along the coastline to protect the island. Now later on the tour, we'll try to show you guys one of those forts, but the whole coastline of Curaçao is protected, or used to be protected by forts that the Dutch built on the island. Now, we are just in a bit, we're going to see the Curaçao Medical Center, which is the newest hospital we have here on the island. Construction ended is on your right, in just in a bit. Right now on your right, you're seeing the old hospital, this yellow building or beige